We are live at 5. Welcome back to the show.
Is it 5?
No. It is 7:17.
Whoa. Cool.
Chandler Coombs, welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve.
When's that?
Well, that's just something that Dave Ramsey says.
Oh, okay. What a chump. Just kidding.
How was your weekend, man?
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a play and hung out with the in-laws.
What play?
Family. It was Newsies.
Oh, right.
Yeah, for my sister-in-law who's like 10 or 11
Huh.
at their elementary school.
Was it like, I mean, you've seen the old movie with like Christian
Nope.
Bale and...
Nope.
You haven't seen the musical?
Nope.
Well, I was going to ask, is it like comparable and like do they do all the same musical numbers and
Sure.
stuff? We'll just go with yeah. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they sang some songs.
Probably not as good as Christian Bale, but comparable.
They sang some songs.
Oh. Who was like the main character in the play? Do you remember?
Man.
Like
It was a
not the
little-
kid's name, but like the actual like main character of like the play.
It was a little paper boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
What was his name? Well, there were two. There was like Crutchy or something.
Oh,
Crutches,
yeah.
like a kid on crutches, and then some kid that wanted to go to Santa Fe. He was like his brother, or like his bro. I don't know.
I don't think they're like biological brothers, but I think they're just like
Brothers. Yeah, they're
Just like-
bros.
hood rat kids.
They're bros via circumstance.
Right.
Yeah, they're them. Then there was like the. Oh man, what was his name? The big guy who like owns the news.
Oh,
things.
Pulitzer?
Yeah, that's right. I was
Yeah.
like, I knew it was named after like some prize.
Yeah, the
Those kind of
Pulitzer.
thing. Yeah,
prize.
Pulitzer, you boy. And then they just like, oh, they're raising the cost of our papes. You can't do that to us, eh?
You can't raise the cost of the papes.
Yeah.
What is it, like a penny to like 3 pennies or something? Like it's something super...
Well,
Now that
I
would be
think
negligible,
I think that their
but...
pricing was a little off in that because I'm pretty sure that in that the papers are like 80 cents,
Oh,
which back in like, when was that? Like
early
1890?
1900s, whatever.
I think it was like 1899 or something.
Yeah.
Like 80 cents is a lot for a paper, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like in the movie it was like...
It's like before the Great Depression and stuff, like, and then
A
they
nickel
changed
or
it to
something.
90 cents.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't even that big of a change compared to what it was to begin with. So I was like, okay.
Huh.
But
What a tough childhood, though.
yeah.
You're just like some street urchin kid in Brooklyn or like New York or whatever,
Yeah.
waking up and selling newspapers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They should bring that back.
What would like the modern day Newsies be?
People walking dogs or like babysitting
What?
or like mowing lawns, you know,
I guess if you're
'Cause that- that's
talking
stuff
about
that-
kids, yeah.
or like a lemonade stand, you know,
Yeah.
just as far as like kids working because they can't get a real job.
Right. They couldn't work like that now.
Yeah.
Because then the government would be all over it and child labor laws and
You
stuff.
can't tax a lemonade stand.
Right.
They don't make enough money for the government to care.
In terms of like work, though, take children out of it. What's like the modern day equivalent of like peddling newspapers? Summer sales. Selling solar panels
I mean,
or pest control.
those are somewhat different because people don't actually need those. Like that's kind of convincing people to do that. Like
yeah, I guess that's
with
true.
newspapers, that's how they got any information about anything going on in the world back then.
Right.
Like they didn't have the internet, they didn't have social media. They just have their own little like group of friends or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there were probably quite a few people that were really poor that would still like get together with their neighborhood or like their group of friends in their area and they just like all chip in to get a newspaper
Yeah.
just to share it, just that way they could keep up on what's going on, especially with like elections and things politically going on in the country.
Like, me personally, I don't care much about the news anymore. I feel like I did a lot in 2022. But ever since 2023, I just kind of put it aside. I don't really check it that much. But when I hear about like big things that happen, I like start looking at the news. You know,
Yeah.
I get into it. But other than that, not really. But looking back at that time, if that was your only source of information was like newspapers and word on the street, I could see why people would get a newspaper, but not every day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if you made like an average income, you could just spare a few pennies or a nickel and get a newspaper. But
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it too was at least in the play, there was a big strike going on with like the trolleys or something in like San Francisco.
Yeah.
That all the papers were printing about, and so that's like where the kids get the idea to like strike against the newspaper. So I feel like a lot of people were very interested in that because that affected a lot of people, I feel like.
yeah,
Because there were probably a lot of people that used the trolley to like get to and from work. If there's like some big strike, I don't know what it was for, like pricing on it or
right.
development of it into different neighborhoods, I don't know. But like that's probably pretty relevant to a lot of people's lives back then.
Yeah.
If like that's how they got around town to different jobs or to like go get groceries and stuff, and there's a big strike on it, they're probably like, oh, we need to keep up on the news and figure out like what's happening with this.
Yeah. I
But-
guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that musical though. That's one of my favorite plays, The Newsies.
Yeah.
I watched it with my brother for the first time when I was like 16, and I flew out to DC to go see him because he was living out there at the time. And we took a train up to Times Square. He worked for Marriott at the time. And so he got us a really good deal on like a Marriott hotel like right on Times Square. And so we were staying there and we watched The Newsies. I don't know if we watched it in New York or in DC, but we did watch The Newsies that week. It's a great show.
Did you cry?
No, I don't think I did.
Dang it.
But I
cried.
did appreciate Christian Bale's acting.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Was it because he's Christian?
In the sense that that's his name, yes. I don't know anything about him
I
other
don't
than that.
either. Yeah.
But he did a good job.
Yeah.
But anyway, you also helped me move.
Yes. I did do that.
This is the new crib.
Welcome.
Welcome.
This is the place.
The new place. It's kind of fun. We just
Yeah.
moved down the street.
Yeah.
It wasn't too big of a deal. I had Harley's brother come down from Idaho because he has a truck,
Mm-hmm.
and he helped us out. So it was fun.
Did you get your truck moved at all?
It's still
You're just gonna leave it there?
still puttering around. Well, I guess our other lease doesn't finish until end of April, or I guess middle of April. So
Yeah. Have you tried driving it around again?
I did on Saturday,
Okay. Yeah. You
And
told
it
me about
started
that
up.
yesterday.
and it like went around the block just fine, and then it died. So I was like, oh crap. But then I started it up again, and I gassed it just enough to get it like going, and then I just ran it right back to my parking spot.
Yeah.
Because it sucks when it just dies in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's really awkward because people get upset and start looking at you weird.
Yeah.
But it's old. I mean, I can't expect perfection out of that thing.
Yeah. That's fair.
But we're going to have some people look at it. I was getting some quotes of like towing it, like people who will come and like pay you and then they'll take it to a junkyard or whatever. So I looked on like 4 or 5 different websites just in Utah. And a lot of them were like, I'll give you $300 for it, $400 for it. I'm like, no way. I'm not giving that thing away for $400.
Yeah.
I could
Especially
get way
with how
more than-
expensive cars are right now.
Yeah. Like
Like, no way.
I'm not letting that thing go for 400. It would be nice though, just to have someone come pick it up tow
Never
it
have to see
away.
again.
and I never have to deal with it.
Yeah. What do you have to do with the title then?
I think you just sign it over to him
Well, it's
or just give it to him. I
it's
don't
just
know.
being junked. Like, can you even use the title anymore? Because it's not like somebody's gonna be taking that car again, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know if they would just like, I don't know if they would try and fix it and sell it, or they just go and like crush it and junk it. I don't know what they do. Maybe they just like pick it apart for like different parts
Yeah.
and sell it.
Hmm.
Who knows? There's all these little situations that come up as an adult where you're like, I have no idea how this even works, but it's just Google.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bunch of Googling. That's how our generation of adults is making it happen, is just asking
It's
Google.
like 30 years ago, what did you, like 80 years ago, what would you don't have a phone. You can't, like, call your parents and be like, hey, what do I do in this situation?
Right.
Like, what the freak did they do?
I have no idea. I think about that all the time, though. Like, dealing with, like, random things like getting insurance, like, on your car.
Yeah.
That's not obvious what you do to just, like, get insured. And so you Google and you call people and you ask. And
Well, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. You just call Progressive or whatever. It's like, how do I know I'm getting a good deal? Like, what's normal to pay in insurance?
you have no measuring stick for, like, how
It's like,
good
I'm
insurance
paying
should be or how
$1,000
much.
a month in insurance. Like, that's kind of expensive, but it's probably good because that's what I got. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's terrible.
Right.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Well, and, like, getting renter's insurance, like, I had to research that. And, like, obviously I understand, insurance in general and, like, renter's insurance, but I was reading more into it. And so I guess if somebody, like, trips and, like, breaks their arm in your place and sues you, you have insurance or, whatever happens. Or if people come in and burglarize your apartment or whatever it may be.
Yeah. You have your
You're
things
covered.
replaced. Yeah. That's like the scariest thing to me is like, no matter how much insurance you have, if like your house burned down, like obviously you get a new house, they could replace your TV, your
Right.
games, whatever. But like there's a lot of things that they can't replace if like your house were to burn down.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like books or like notebooks or like I've got a bunch of stuff from Thailand and it's like, well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you can't get me that back.
No.
Like,
It's
that's
just gone.
Gone forever.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
I feel like at that point you would become a lot less attached to everything that you own.
Yeah.
Like you'd be more willing to get rid of things that like before you would have seen as sentimental.
Yeah. Like if my house burned down and like fast forward 2 years and I'm back to where I was, yeah, I don't think I'd be as attached.
I'd be cleaning out a lot of things, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be
would
like,
go
okay,
minimalist.
why do we need to have this? Like, it doesn't do anything for me now. And like, if our house burned down, we just lose it again. It really doesn't mean that much to me. So like, let it go.
That's kind of how it was moving.
Yeah.
I mean, we went through a lot of junk that we had kept and we thought we were going to use, and a lot of clothes that we thought we were going to use. Harley had a bunch of like volleyball t-shirts from high school. She said, she was like, I don't need this. Like, they're fun to look at and they're really good memories, but you only look at them when you move.
Yeah. It's true. I feel like the only reason that I hold on to some things, because I have like a lot of things from high school, whatever, that I've still got with me, but I feel like most of the reason that I hold on to it isn't because I really like care about it that much. A lot of it's like, oh, I'm gonna use this someday. Like, I'll need this someday, and then I see it like every couple of years or so, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have this thing. Now I know where it is if I need it. And then like the next day I forget about it again. But I feel like having kids when they're old enough that I can go through and be like, hey, look, here's all this crap I have. Do you want any of it? No? Cool, I'm going to throw it away now.
Right.
Because like I don't need it. Like when they're starting to go to school or whatever, it's like, hey, I've got a bunch of music from like my band classes in high school. You want to like learn to play something? And they're like, no. It's like, okay, cool. Then I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, you just
it's
get rid of it.
I don't own a marimba or anything, but I don't know.
If your house was actively burning down and like your whole family was outside safe, that's the assumption. But you had time like 2 minutes to run in and grab like 5 things. What would you grab?
I would grab, there's a box that has all my journals in it. I would grab that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I would
How long did the journals go back? How far?
To when I was 7, when I was 8.
Whoa.
That's like the first time that I wrote in it, and then it was like a week later, and then it was just like every couple months or so I would write something. Then there's like a huge gap of like 5 or 6 years.
Right.
And then I wrote a little more consistently. And then this stretch that I'm on right now is from like it's from like December 2017
Mm-hmm.
until now. That
Right.
I've been writing basically every day.
Whoa.
So that's like
So
6
that's
years
important.
worth. Yeah.
I mean, significant.
Of writing every day.
Right.
So like that means a lot to me. Not that I ever go back and read anything or really want to, but like it's meaningful for me for like posterity and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons with like the fire thing or like a flood or something like that. I want to at some point go through and like type up all my journals. That or just like scan them in.
Yeah.
So that I have it digitally saved as well.
Right.
And then when I get to that point, whenever that is that I'm all caught up, then I would like to just like on a Sunday, just take that week in like a Sunday afternoon and just like go back over my week. Because I feel like that's good to like reflect on the last week, but also to like keep up on keeping it digital as well. You
Right.
know? Because I like having it in an actual book because it feels a lot more like real. Like personable because like I'm actually writing something and I can like cross things out or like doodle little things or like see that I'm falling asleep as I'm writing it as like I'm writing a word halfway through and then there's just a line of pen down to the bottom of the page.
Right.
Like I don't know, I just think that it's fun to write in it, but I do want to have like a digital backup of some sort to make it a little more secure. So I definitely grab that.
The journals.
I grab that. I would grab. I don't think it's in a box. I would grab our safe. It's got like a little safe. There's like a gun in there and like some passports and
so just important stuff.
Yeah, the main reason I would grab that is because I collect money and coins.
Oh, right.
And I have a lot of like Thai money and like Thai coins and just different coins and bills from different countries I've collected over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's more of a hobby of convenience. Like, oh, if I'm in the area or have the opportunity to get it, then like I'll grab extra like foreign money or something. Right. But I'm not like actively online forums like buying international currency. It's like, oh, I've been to these places, or like, oh, I happened upon this bill from somebody that I knew who went to this place, or that they just like offered to give to me.
Right.
But like that to me is a little meaningful, just because I like it. I don't know. Yeah. So I grab.
So the important safe with stuff in it.
Yeah, because that's in there, and then my journals.
So journals safe.
What else would I grab? I would. That's a good question. There's a set of books I would grab. They're all like leather-bound books.
Oh, okay.
That are like from a series. Well, they're books from an author that I really like, but every like 10 years. They've been releasing like an anniversary edition that's like leather bound and really nice, that it's got like artwork in it and different things like that. So I'd probably grab those.
Whoa.
Because I mean, they're meaningful to me in that I really like the books and like they really resonate with me, especially like at the time that I was reading them in high school. I was like, oh, like I can be a depressed kid, but also like enjoy these books, you know?
Yeah.
So like they're meaningful to me to some degree. So I'd probably try to grab all those.
So journals, safe,
the journals,
books.
2 more things. What would I grab? I mean, I'd probably grab some set of scriptures.
Nice.
I don't know which one. There's not one specifically that I'm like more attached to than others. Although there is one that I read.
Does it have
like,
sentimental value?
Seminary.
Oh, so you're seminary pair.
Like, there's some sentimental value in that, like, there's a lot of highlights and like little notes and insights that I had throughout seminary.
Right.
But like, honestly, highlighting the scriptures to me means nothing, because like,
Right.
like, oh, I use yellow for like scriptures to talk about this, or like blue for this. And, like, I'm
Yeah.
colorblind. I don't get the color.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't get the whole like color coordinating different like meanings and things. Like that never meant anything to me.
Right.
So like I just highlight something because I'm reading. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. I just like highlight it, move on, and then I come back and I'm like, see the highlight. I'm like, oh, I saw that was interesting. Cool.
Right.
Like there are some insights and things, but nothing that like is super meaningful. I would more grab it just to like
Uh-oh,
have
button.
one if I need, you know. Oh yeah, it is. Let's see. So we
We're
got
still going.
some set of scriptures. We've got
So journals, safe, books, scriptures. What's the last one?
the last thing that I would grab.
This is a tough one. I'm trying to think of what I would grab. This is hard.
'Cause,
I'm
like,
sure.
I wouldn't say like, oh, I grabbed my PlayStation or like my Xbox, because it's like
Yeah.
I could get a new one of those. Like insurance, that could cover that pretty easily. You know, like
Right.
if that burns away, I'm like, hey, I had a PlayStation 5. They're like, okay, cool, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, none of that stuff really matters to me. So I'm trying to think of like things that are really like sentimental to me. You know, I can't really think. I don't know. I would maybe grab. There's a pillow that I got when I was, I think, an infant, or maybe
Right.
really young, from my grandma that passed away last year. Because she would like knit and do embroidery and stuff. So she made a pillow and it just says like, I'm a child of God on it or whatever.
Aw.
So
Cute.
I guess I would grab that because I was really close with her, because I took piano lessons from her
Oh, yeah.
for like 8 years growing up. And
That's
like,
right.
so I was really close with her. So I'd probably grab that, or there's like a notebook that she has where she wrote about like her experiences over a year, like reading the Book of Mormon. She went on like a Book of Mormon lands tour in like South America,
Whoa.
Venezuela, or like somewhere in South America, where they were talking about like, oh, this might be where this happened in the Book of Mormon. She was just like writing about her experiences and stuff in that.
Yeah.
Like, not that I've read through it, but
Right.
like something to, I think the last thing I would grab would just be something to connect me to like someone that I was close to when they died. So I'd probably try to grab like the obituaries for my grandparents and for like Keaton,
Right.
or like just that notebook or that pillow or something that like connects me to them in some way.
Whoa.
Just so that I have something to remember them by a little bit. Not that like I'm gonna forget about them if I'm like, oh, I forgot about that pillow. Guess I can't ever remember my grandma.
Right.
You know, I don't know, just something that's more sentimental in that way. I wouldn't really care to grab like clothes. Like,
Yeah.
I would on my way out
Right.
grab one of my name tags for my mission.
I didn't realize how sentimental you are. That's interesting.
Well, I'm just trying to think of things like,
Yeah.
honestly, like the pillow would be like the last thing on my mind.
Right.
But like I would try to keep things that have like history or meaning to either me and my life, or like the lives of others that are like important to me. Like,
Yeah.
if I had the arm space, I would grab that frame picture I have on my desk of us and Lau
Oh, yeah.
about these
See, if
different things like that. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like things that can't, like, absolutely can't be replaced.
So it's like the picture frame in that, yeah, you can replace that. A pillow, yeah, you can replace that. But like,
Clothes, you can replace.
yeah,
that.
clothes, like, what do I care about that? I could get a Bike for Dad shirt some other time. I could probably go on Amazon and find a Bike for Dad shirt. You know?
Right.
Like, so I would just try to find things that I can't replace.
Like for me, the first 5 things that I thought of, like, okay, I'm running back into my house. My family's safe. I'm gonna grab 5 things. Be like clothes. I'd obviously try and make sure my wallet is on me, with at least like my ID and like a credit card
Yeah.
just for immediate financial survival, I guess.
Yeah.
I probably would grab some like pictures or books that are valuable that can't be replaced.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have much of those here though. Geez, the last two are hard. Probably some food. And
Yeah.
like some blankets. I don't know. It depends on like the time of year and like.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's
I
true.
think I would go for more like immediate survival stuff. But assuming that that's all taken care of and that you had somewhere to fall back on like immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I was going with the assumption that like I have what I normally have with me, which is my wallet, my phone, my keys,
Right.
everything. And then like, at least for Allie and I, like our parents live like 15, 20 minutes away for the closest parents. So like,
Right.
I'm not really worried about food
Like
or
immediate
like
needs.
survival things. I'm like,
Yeah, I guess that's
I
true.
could just lay low with my parents for a little bit, like wait to get a card from my bank to pay expenses. Like I'm not going to be paying rent at that point. My
Right.
insurance, like that goes through my credit card, so it's not like I'm gonna miss an insurance payment or something.
Right.
The money will still be coming into my bank from work and things, so I'm not really so worried about that necessarily. But yeah, I feel like I'll just try to run inside and grab things that I couldn't replace.
I do have a hard drive, like an external hard drive
Mm-hmm.
that I'd probably grab. And it doesn't even have that much stuff on it because I got it like a year ago.
Yeah,
But I would probably grab that. It has some memories on it, I guess.
yeah. I feel like most of mine are books.
We're a lot more boring than I realized.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, we don't have that much stuff, though,
Well,
in
honestly,
this stage of life.
Honestly, I'm just trying to think like if I was an old man and like this happened, what would I grab? Like what would be different that I
Right.
would grab? I mean, I feel like at that point it's just going to be like hard drives of like photos and videos of like our kids growing up and stuff like that cuz like at that point like I mean, I would still grab my journals.
Yeah.
Assuming I'm still keeping journals and stuff, I'd have so much.
Right.
But even that would go down in importance because at that point, hopefully, I'll have them all like digitalized and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd probably grab the one that I'm currently writing because that one will be the most at risk of losing anything significant. But I wouldn't try to run in and grab a car, you know, like
Yeah.
I can't really think of any material things that I'll be getting before I'm dead in this life that like I would want to run back in and get. You know, it's
Right.
like, oh, I'm not going to run in and grab a bigger TV than what I have right now. I'm not going to run in and grab like a computer that I don't have right now that'll be like really nice and fancy and I do a lot of stuff on in the future. It's like insurance could cover that, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll stay relatively the same of like trying to grab really sentimental things to me. Like at that point, be like, okay, my grandma died like 60 years ago. Like,
Right.
is the stuff that I have of her right now, or she died like last year, that's not really going to be as important to me then.
Right.
Because I'll have plenty of memories and stuff of different things happening, and I'll probably be ready to die at that point, honestly, if I'm like really old.
Yeah.
And be like, well, I'll see her soon. Why do I need any of her stuff? You
Yeah,
know?
like what's done is done.
So I feel like age affects it a lot. Because, I mean, if you're like in your 80s, like, yeah, you'll be sad about losing a lot of things, but like you're retired, you're just hanging out. You're probably just happy that everyone's alive and safe.
Yeah.
And that like you can find a home and then just live out the rest of your like 10, however many years you got left to live.
Right.
Just like not have much, just hang out, live off your retirement money. You know, I mean, obviously, if I had like a ton of money in my mattress or something,
Yeah.
like
You probably
I would
run
wanna
for
try
that
to
first.
run in and lug out a mattress, and if that's the only thing I get to, then like so be it. At least I got that. But
Do you think people do that still?
I think it's a lot
Besides
less,
like extreme like preppers?
I think it's a lot less common. I think, at least in a mattress, I feel like a lot more people are putting money in like walls now because it's like
Yeah.
their houses aren't made of brick Like there's a hollow space in their walls with like drywall and
Right.
insulation and stuff. So I feel like people put money more in their walls than in mattresses to try to be secure, you know. But I don't.
I could see putting like a few $1,000s in
Yeah.
your walls, but I wouldn't put like my entire life savings
Yeah,
in the
no.
walls of my home. Like,
Yeah, I would not.
that seems
either.
very risky.
Yeah.
No matter how tinfoil hat conspiracy theory you are about the government taking your money or whatever.
Well, I mean, at some point, with all the conspiracies, it's going to end up with, like, the world ending. You know,
Yeah.
if you take, like, most conspiracies to the extreme.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, if the world ends, your money's meaningless.
Yeah, what good is that going to do you?
Like, if there's a nuclear apocalypse that happens and, like, everyone just gets nuked, but, like, you survive, it's like, oh, cool, you have a couple $1,000s in your couch. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one's going to be using that
worthless.
money anymore. They're going to be asking you for food and water.
And skills.
Like, why are you giving me this green paper with some like dead guy on it? What does this matter? This can't give me anything. I can't use this.
Money's a really interesting concept.
Yeah, it is.
I see why we need it, but it's like very interesting. It's interesting how it works.
Because the only thing that gives it value is the supposed idea that it's backed by like gold and silver, that you can
Right.
theoretically trade it in to the federal government for like gold or whatever.
But not anymore.
It's like, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are like, there's nothing in Fort Knox. Like, show us what's in there. You know, just like asking, and
Yeah.
there's like been nothing.
You're right.
Like, no one's
And
been
even if there
able
was
or allowed to see
something,
anything
it
in
wouldn't
there.
be enough.
Yeah. Not to cover like the trillions of dollars that everyone in the U.S. combined could have to spend at one point.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause you take like all the billionaires and stuff, like all their wealth and just the wealth of everyone combined, like they don't have enough gold to back that up.
No.
But
Well, I think that's about it.
yeah,
Thanks for the chat.
yeah.
That was gnarly. Oh, plug.
All right, I'm gonna unplug here.
We'll see you next time, bro.